Hello everyone, I Dr. Sonam Bhatia welcomes you all to my channel C2B. This video is a part of video series where I am covering protein metabolism for our MBBS students. आज का topic is one of the most ignored topic by the students and hopefully this video will be able to provide clear concept on inter-organ exchange of nitrogen. Let's first see the question on this topic. Question number 1. How is amino acid nitrogen removed during catabolism of amino acid and transported from peripheral tissues to liver for detoxification? Question number 2. Discuss the central role of glutamate and glutamine in amino acid metabolism in inter-organ transport of amino acid nitrogen. Question number 3. What changes related to these amino acids contribute to pathogenesis of hepatic encephalopathy in advanced cases of liver cirrhosis? Now, before answering these questions one by one, let's answer few important questions to have the overall good concept. Now, before moving further, यहाँ पर let's answer few important questions to have an overall good concept. What is the storage form of carbohydrate in animals? I suppose you are saying glycogen. Another question, what is the storage form of lipids? I suppose you are saying triacyl glycerol, the neutral lipids. Now, what is the storage form of proteins? I suppose most of you are wondering and confused. The correct answer is there is no storage form of proteins. That means जो भी protein from the diet is required by the body will keep it. Rest all will be excreted. A very good example to remember this is people who do a lot of gymming or exercise. They tend to take a lot of proteins as proteins cannot be stored in the body. With this background, let's now start answering these questions one by one. The body protein is degraded to amino acid and those amino acids as well as dietary amino acid will be utilized to form the newer macromolecule. That means there has to be a balance. The amino acids are catabolized in the body, they are utilized in the body, and for their catabolism, the very first step is transamination. एक बार transamination हो गया, then the ammonia is transported to liver for detoxification. But another problem here is free ammonia can never be transported because it is toxic to the brain. So first, let's see what is transamination. Transamination is a reversible reaction catalyzed by transaminases. और ये एक अमाइनो एसिड को कीटो एसिड में और एक कीटो एसिड को अमाइनो एसिड में साइमल्टेनियसली कन्वर्ट करते हैं. दे रिक्वायर पायरिडॉक्सिल फॉस्फेट दैट इज द एक्टिव फॉर्म ऑफ विटामिन B6. क्या सभी अमाइनो एसिड्स ट्रांसएमिनेट होते हैं? नो, देयर इज एन एक्सेप्शन टू दिस रूल एंड देयर इज these amino acids like lysine, threonine, proline, hydroxyproline, they do not undergo transamination. Let's now see the overall view of the transamination reaction. Here, the keto acid will be converted to the amino acid and an amino acid will be converted to keto acid. The enzyme is transaminases and it requires the active form of vitamin B6. Here, always note you have a pair of keto acid and amino acid on one side and amino acid and keto acid on the other side. Let's also take the example of ALT. Here, alanine is converted to pyruvate, an amino acid is converted to its keto acid form, and a keto acid is converted to its amino acid form. The enzyme here is ALT, alanine transaminase, also known as SGPT, serum glutamate pyruvate transaminase. Let's see another example, AST, aspartate transaminase. Here in this reaction, aspartate, which is an amino acid, will be converted to its keto acid and simultaneously a keto acid will be converted to its amino acid form. Again, you have a pair of amino acid, keto acid, converting to another pair of amino acid, keto acid. These transaminases are very specific. Now, we all have heard of ALT, AST. They have a celebrity status and the reason for this is because they are liver function tests. Now there are certain other liver function tests also. Based on detoxification and excretory functions, we have serum bilirubin, urine bilirubin, blood ammonia, serum enzymes. Then, on the basis of the biosynthetic function of the liver, serum albumin and serum globulin, coagulation factors, serum prothrombin time and INR, and there are certain other diagnostic tests, percutaneous liver biopsy and ultrasonography. Coming back to the answer, by now you must have understood that all the amino acids transaminate to form glutamate. And in extrahepatic tissues, glutamate is converted to glutamine by the enzyme glutamine synthetase. So the overall big picture is this can be divided into three parts. Let's see one by one. The first part takes place in the extrahepatic tissues, जहाँ पे दो subsequent steps हो रहे हैं. Number one, transamination. The enzyme is transaminases, and number two, by glutamine synthetase, which will convert glutamate to glutamine. All the glutamine formed here will be released in blood, and in blood, glutamine is the major transporter of ammonium ion. From here, glutamine will be taken up by liver, by intestine and by kidneys. And again, why we have to convert ammonia to glutamine? Because free ammonia is toxic to brain. Although glutamine is major transporter of ammonium ion in blood, also add a note on glucose-alanine cycle. The alanine is the major transporter which is released from the muscles. And the reason for this is the presence of ALT. So this cycle, a similar cycle to Cory's, is known as Cahill cycle, glucose-alanine cycle. Let's now answer question number 2, and that is discuss the central role of glutamate and glutamine in amino acid metabolism. So we have already seen the conversion of glutamate to glutamine. The enzyme is glutamine synthetase present in the extrahepatic tissues. The only difference between glutamate and glutamine is of the amino group here. And that amino group is coming from the free ammonia. So, glutamine is then released in blood and taken up by the liver, kidney and intestine, where it will be converted back to glutamate, releasing ammonium ion. So this reaction is catalyzed by another enzyme, we will talk about it in detail, known as glutaminase. So glutamine is taken up by the liver, kidney and intestine, where it will be converted to glutamate, releasing ammonium ion. What do you think will happen to this free ammonium ion in liver, kidney and intestine? In liver, the free ammonia will help in the formation of urea. In the intestine, it helps in the formation of the nitrogenous bases, purine and pyrimidine. And in kidney, it will participate in alkalinization of urine. Might appear to us like a futile cycle. The two enzymes, glutamine synthetase and glutaminase, one is forming glutamine, another is converting glutamine again to glutamate. But the two enzymes are present in different tissue. Always remember, glutamine synthetase is present in majority of the extrahepatic tissues like brain, heart. Glutaminase on the other hand is present in liver, kidney and intestine. So it is actually not a futile cycle. But what is the necessity to have this? The reason is the free ammonium is highly toxic and we need to convert it to the less toxic form, and that is why glutamine is required. In liver, in addition to the glutaminase activity, there is one more enzyme known as glutamate dehydrogenase, which will convert glutamate to alpha ketoglutarate, releasing free ammonia. This ammonia will enter into urea cycle. So, glutamate dehydrogenase is known as oxidative deamination step. Now, another very important point, what is trans-deamination? Transamination and deamination together is known as trans-deamination. Now, let's answer question number 3. What changes related to these amino acids contribute to pathogenesis of encephalopathy in advanced cases of liver cirrhosis. Whenever you see a clinical based question, try and answer them on this ground. Definition: etiopathogenesis, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment. Let's see one by one. Any liver disease collectively leading to a state where ammonia toxicity can result in coma or death, that is known as hepatic encephalopathy. It can be seen in hepatitis, alcoholic cirrhosis, neonatal congenital hepatic abnormalities. The etiopathogenesis, let's see, intestinal bacterial flora will release ammonium ion. This ammonia will go to liver via enterohepatic circulation. In the liver, normally it is converted to urea and is excreted. Cirrhosis, जो intestinal flora ammonia release कर रहा था, वो via enterohepatic circulation will go to liver. But क्योंकि cirrhotic liver है, it will not be able to convert ammonia to urea. Now there will be more of ammonia reaching brain. That ammonia will combine with alpha ketoglutarate to form glutamate, and that glutamate will form glutamine. As a result, the alpha ketoglutarate, which is a part of TCA cycle, gets depleted. The concentration of glutamate will increase. More of GABA will be formed, which is a type of inhibitory neurotransmitter. More of glutamine will be formed, which will result in astrocyte swelling. So all these factors together result in cerebral edema and death. So these are the symptoms: jaundice, loss of appetite, vomiting, ascites, altered consciousness, flapping tremors, slurred speech, in severe cases coma and death. Then diagnosis: deranged LFT. Treatment: treat the cause, give protein-free diet, give antibiotics to sterilize gut, give symptomatic treatment, and in most of the cases, liver transplantation will be required. For further updates on these videos, you may visit my social media handle. So for further updates on these videos, you may visit my social media handle, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you. God bless you all.